Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Apocalypse and Richardfeder on Dusk Towers. I do need to clear something up real quick. This is not the professional Korean gamer Apocalypse. This is another name for the player, the Affluent. I've cast a few of his games, and I figured I would clarify that. Apocalypse is Master GM level, but I don't feel like he's Pro level, so if you feel like Apocalypse is not playing up to his usual standards, that is the reason why. In the top right of Dusk Towers, we have the Red Protoss player representing Outset Gaming. It is Apocalypse, also known as the Affluent. And in the bottom left of Dusk Towers, we have the blue Terran player. It is Richardfeder from Clan CCTV. Does that say comedian coming to victory? Huh. Maybe they're funny StarCraft players? I don't know. There's some of that going around, I know. Either way, a PvT here on Dusk Towers. I know a lot of people have been wanting to see Terran replays, and here you go. Lots and lots of Terran on my channel the last week. Trying to get a good balance out there, so all my Zerg, Protoss, and Terran fans are happy because that's what's important to me, is making you guys and gals happy. Alright, so PvT here. Let's see what's going on here from Apocalypse. One gas going into, looks like a Gateway Expand. Yes, indeed, Gateway on the way. Expansion on the way as well, 400 minerals in the bank. Bam, good timing on that. And possibly a Reaper expand here from the Blue Terran as well. So again, we've seen this very situation set up previously in other PvTs on my channel. And we're going to see a Reaper come out. Indeed, the Reaper's going to pop out. The timing on the Mothership Core is going to really make a difference here. Cybernetics Core on the way. Once the Cyber's down, Mothership Core should come out soon enough. Possibly a Stalker as well out of this Gateway to deal with this harassing Reaper. And a command center coming up as well for Richardfeder, going for that second base. It is not a crazy one base all-in, which we have seen some really heavy one base pressure from Terrans on Protoss in Legacy of the Void, but that will not be happening today. It looks like we're moving on into more of a macro type game, which I'm very excited to cast. I know a lot of my longer casts get some more views than the shorter ones, so we'll see how this works out for us. Reaper heading on up, running around with those little jetpack legs dangling everywhere. The fire shooting out the back of him, hopefully not searing the backs of his calves, because that would be super sad for him. Probably his armor, though. I guess that would make a lot of sense. An Adept coming out here. So an Adept, not a Stalker. Mothership Core also on the way. Being Chrono Boost out. Here comes the Mothership Core. Look at this timing on the Mothership Core. Reaper going to actually not go for any probes. Check for a base first. Does see the base. Now comes back for probes. I feel like that was a bad mistake. Unless the Reaper is just more interested. What is the Reaper interested in doing here? The Adept not even worrying about the Reaper, just heading out for some more work of her own. And the Reaper pops on up. Might actually get a worker killed. KD8 charge knocking a ton of probes back there. Wow, that was one of the better KD8 charges I've ever seen. Transferring all the probes away. Mothership Core coming back around. Photon overcharge coming up. Oh, two-shotting the Reaper. Wow, nicely done indeed. How much damage is that again? 30 damage times 2 is 60 hit points, and yep, that's enough to kill a Reaper for sure. So, here comes the Adept. Moving on out with a really cool Purifier skin from the Collector's Edition of Legacy of the Void. Coming to a weird place here. Was try to go inside the base just by using an A-move type command, or just a move command, and this is walled off. So unfortunately cannot get through. The Shade can scout though. The Psionic Transfer Shade can scout and see up that ramp. So let's see what it saw. It did see a second barracks, as well as a Cyclone coming out. All right, Richard, I like to see that for sure. Cyclone's on the way from our Terran player. Another barracks on the way. The factory doing what we're really interested in here, which is Cyclones. All right, robotics facility on the way here for the Protoss player, as well as another Adept. Warp Gate research just about to finish, and that shield upgrade. We've been seeing this, man. It's not shield, rather. It's an armor upgrade for all of the ground units. All the gateway units here for Apocalypse, which just means they're trying to make their Adepts a little bit more tanky, which is something we've seen quite a bit as well. And here comes the Cyclone, going to move on out for some harassment of its own. Where is it going? Is it hunting? It's hunting for proxy pylons, it looks like. It doesn't want to be caught by surprise to see a proxy pylon inside the base, and then just heading back up in to the safety of the main and the natural here, or rather, we're just going to sit here staring at the factory instead. Waiting for some Widow Mines to come out. Meanwhile, immediately a Warp Prism on the way out for Apocalypse here, as well as chrono boosting out that armor upgrade and building a Twilight Council. So Apocalypse probably going for Blink Stalker. I don't think it's going to be Dark Templar. Just really hard against Terran to get that going, just because scans are pretty much omnipresent. You have 2 of these orbital commands here that can scan and pick up the detection on those Dark Templars at any time. So patrolling back and forth here, looking for, I don't know what. Mothership Core heads on out to do a quick check around the natural base. And where did that Warp Prism go? Here it is, not doing anything yet. And actually chrono boosting out the Resonating Glaives upgrade, which increases the attack speed of Adepts by 45%. Huh. Pretty nice stuff there indeed. The Adept might get picked up. No. Nope. Here comes a Cyclone all by itself. It's going to run into a pretty big army here at the top of that ramp. And using the lock-on ability might be able to get this Warp Prism if it follows it. Look at it. Oh, the Warp Prism with the juke. And the juke again. And actually, it cancels the lock-on ability if it's not visible. So hiding up here on top of this little, I want to say it's a spaceship of some kind. Just out of the range of where that Cyclone can see it. Cyclone heading back home, and here comes a drop with 3 Widowmines. Widowmine drop popping out here at about the 5-minute and 40-second mark. A lot of Marines coming up here. Marauders, Stim, Combat Shield, +1 attack on the way as well. The Warp Prism scouts out the drop, and if they move into position here just perfectly, they should be able to get it. Oh, look at this. Look at this positioning here by Apocalypse. And where are they going to try to get this medevac? There. Right there. And, oh, they missed. Got a couple shots off. Not enough to actually hurt it too bad, though. Mothership Core is here to throw down some photon overcharges if it tries to get in. There's the overcharge. Going to try to get the units, get rid of these Widow Mines before they burrow. And, yes, they get one, but not the other one. Mothership, or the medevac actually does fall there. Widow Mine gets a single kill, so probably not as effective as it would hope. And this one does have 4 kills. So Widow Mine drop, not bad, but now there's detection available. And the Widowmine is going to die. Yep, Mothership Core doing another job on that second Widowmine. And in the end, it was basically a medevac and 3 Widowmines for maybe 5 worker kills. So not the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Terrans lost about 375 minerals and 225 gas. Meanwhile, Apocalypse has lost 300 minerals, and that's it. Just basically 6 workers, period, this entire game. Getting rid of the resources lost tab there. Blink being researched. The 3rd Nexus coming up here for Apocalypse about the 6-7 minute mark. Very brave indeed, because here comes a +1 attack with Stim from Richardfeder, and this is Cyclone that has no kills yet. Another drop coming up. Are these more Widow Mines? They are more Widow Mines being dropped up here. Warp Prism hasn't done much of anything to this point. Probably should get in there and do something. I don't see any turrets here at all. Gonna drop at the back and attack at the front. I like this move from Richardfeder, and here comes the attack. Guardian Shield coming up, force fields as well, and the drops. The Widow Mines are just massacring that back line. Oh, Apocalypse. How many workers have been lost now? 14 workers lost, 8 killed in that attack. There are still Widow Mines in this mineral line here, just 2 of them. But look at that, 5 kills there, 3 kills there. It's 51 to 44 total harvesters. The Protoss player is down to the Terran player right now. Not looking good at all. 3rd base coming up for Richardfeder at the same time. Warp Prism really needs to do something at this point. Immortals, I guess a good choice. Are actually don't know this. Are Cyclones armored? They are. They're armored and mechanical. All right. So Immortals do well against Cyclones for the Terran army. That makes a lot of sense. Barracks continuing to produce Marines and Marauders and Widow Mines and armor levels for the infantry. And here comes another push right up the middle here. Guardian Shield going to come up again. No, it is not. Just standing in and fighting force fields. There's the Guardian Shield, but stimming right on top of everything. The Adepts are actually killing 1 or 2 of the Marines here, but I think the DPS coming out of this bio ball just might be a little bit too much here. Although Sentry is doing fairly well. Immortals killing stuff at the same time, and the Stalkers with the +2 armor living a lot longer than you would expect, completely winning that ground battle. They want to get the medevac as well, and they do get one of the medevacs. They get the Widow Mine. And they back on out, waiting for more reinforcements. So fairly decisive victory, I'd have to say, there by Apocalypse. And here's the Warp Prism with Adepts right here in this middle line as well, going after SCBs. More Marines and Marauders coming back, trying to deal with these units, picking up and backing out. And does that actually cancel? No, it doesn't cancel the psionic transfer. That's weird. Anyway, dropping these 2 back here. These 2 are still going after workers, finally getting completely cleaned up there. Another attack up here is imminent with these Widow Mines. Are they going to get shots off? No, indeed. The Stalkers are ready for them this time. Picking up again the Liberator. And a Widow Mine shot, taking down a medevac. Taking down the Warp Prism with 2 Adepts on the inside. That was a pretty good pickup from that Widow Mine, indeed. Moving on into the Defender mode circles here. Going after the Liberators, killing 1 of them with the Stalkers. Excellent, excellent job. Guardian Shield coming up once again. It's good to see this used. An Immortal dies anyway. Really too few hit points there, I think, to really survive. And look at this. Cyclone, Liberator play, Adepts as well. Goodness, this is a Legacy of the Void game to be sure. Very excited how this game has gone so far. Adepts continuing to be produced here. Zealot legs on the way, +1 attack for ground weapons for the Protoss. Might as well get that to make up for the +3 armor that Apocalypse already has here at the 9-minute mark, sub 10-minute mark here. It's a +1/+1 for Richardfeder on the other hand. I keep wanting to say Roger Federer because it's an R-Fed kind of a thing, but no, it's Richardfeder or Feeder, something like that. 4th base coming up for Apocalypse here. And anything crazy in that production tab? No, I'm going to say not really. Just standard bioplay with Widow Mines here. A 4th command center is being constructed though. Where is that command center? Here it is. Going to land down here, moving into a 4-base versus 4-base type of a situation. It's 57 probes to 63 harvesters for Richardfeder. Terran player in a great position that way. APM check right here, about 200, 186, 150 for each of these players. 200 current for Apocalypse, continuing to play very, very quickly indeed. And what's this? More Immortals. Really liking this Immortal play. Again, really good against Cyclones and I guess Marauders. Good against Marauders, but either way, here comes this Liberator out in front. Oh, could have gotten sniped out if Apocalypse was paying attention. It's a bit of an impromptu attack here. Guardian Shield coming up on the right side of the army, but not enough to really cover all of it there. And does get a kill. The Liberator finally with a single kill after throwing down Defender mode circles a couple times there. Manages, takes in a couple shots there from the Stalkers. And the Stalkers could probably blink in and kill it. And they do. They focus it down. Guardian Shields covering the right side of this army. Once again, more Liberators come in, but they're not doing anything at all. The Stalkers really want to kill those guys. Again, now here come the Defender mode circles. On top of everything, force fields cutting off a few of these units in the back. They're still firing, though. Another Liberator forced to retreat. Apocalypse forced to retreat as well, but finally staying outside of that circle range. And this is a really good composition against the Marine Marauder type play. The Liberators are still a problem. They always are. And the Widow Mines as well, sitting underneath, just waiting for Stalkers to blink on in. Another attack here with Zealots actually running down, trying to kill add-ons, trying to kill more workers. This Zealot with 4 kills now. Going to pick up a Marine kill as well. It does get it. A lot of these Marines are weakened. And yes, one-shotting just a couple of the workers there. That Marine is a hero. Zealot. Up to 9 kills. It is a mentor. Does it get another one? No, it does not. It can't get the final SCV there. Swooping around the left side here as Apocalypse looking for an angle to attack. Not trying to walk through these Widow Mines here, but Zealot's tanking a lot of the damage. Finally picking up the Liberator. A scan, seeing exactly where the army is. Coming out with more Liberators, more Medevacs, more Marines, more Marauders. It's 136 to 140 total supply. Apocalypse is, I would say, in the lead right now with the worker count with a fully established 4th base, although 4th base is landed here for Richardfeder as well, chasing down. The Defender mode circles are up in an offensive type position, forcing the Protoss army back once again, and using force fields to cut the army off fairly well. A lot of these Marauders are going to be destroyed while his teammates and his reinforcements do get the heck on out of there. That's what good force field placement can do for you. Is this another drop? Another Zealot drop back here. Killing more and more Marines. Look at these guys go. They are so hard to kill with that +3 armor upgrade. Getting another Marine. But can they get this final Marauder? No! Marauder is alive. Marauder with 0 kills, but did a lot of damage nonetheless. DT's here taking out a command center. Oh, DT's. Well played indeed. Good serve. Finally getting cleaned up by the Marines and the Marauders once again. And Apocalypse just kind of hanging out, trying to make sure the Terran army can't come through and do any drops on him. He's really focusing on this. There's a lot of workers here. Probably should transfer some of these down to the 4th base, but has all the gas coming in, which is, I guess, what is really important. +3/+3 now started by Richardfeder, though. Robotics Bay on the way for Disruptors, possibly. Disruptors against Terran can be a hit-or-miss prospect. They are very used to splitting. Either way, Stalkers coming in again. They're going to get rid of this missile turret first of all, interestingly enough. There we go. Immortals in the front. Force fields trying to section things off. Not doing a great job of it, though. Blinking the Stalkers away. Bringing everybody outside of that circle once again. Then standing and fighting. Barrier coming up on the Immortals. It is a new ability in Legacy of the Void that absorbs up to 200 damage. Lasts for 2 seconds. It is an auto cast when it is necessary. So makes these Immortals a little bit more immortal. But hardened shields are no longer a thing, which is a bit of a problem. So that is a rank 9 Immortal. It is a Mentor. Warp Prism here as well. Might try for some drops back here while attacking over here, kind of keeping the attention of the main army. And is this a mass probe transfer? It is. Mass probe transfer to a base that's not even here yet. Long distance mining. I don't know if that's necessary. You could probably throw some here and throw some here and be okay. But long distance mining it is. Good concave here on the Protoss army. Again, going right up. More force fields being thrown down. Excellent use of the Guardian Shield once again, and then backing out Once defender mode is up, then turning around to fight again. Adepts on the front lines are just really, really hard to kill, but the stim on these Marines and the Marauders are doing their very best. Again, moving outside of the defender mode circle and then trying to just straight up take down these Marauders. All that's left is actually a few Marauders and a few Marines here. Apocalypse looking very, very good, whittling through this army. Once again, Stalker count fairly low, and that's a bit of a problem. Defender mode trying to force this army back does save the lives of a couple of those Marauders there. Mass warp in of Zealots going after this refinery, going after SCVs. +3, +2 on these Zealots, just absolutely laying waste to missile turrets, going after workers on gas, going after Marines that are just spawning out of barracks. What a huge problem. More SCVs dying. Total number of SCVs lost, 56. Right now for Richardfeder, I think the army could probably take this, since most of the army for Richardfeder is back here dealing with these Zealots and actually taking casualties before finally cleaning it up. But no, it looks like he was playing it a little bit safe. Not worried about it. I also think Richardfeder should probably put maybe a Liberator back here or a Viking to just try to hunt down this Warp Prism that has clearly been causing him trouble pretty much the entire game to this point. And no, it's not Disruptors. It is Colossus with the Purifier skin again. That's why they look funny. So 14 damage here, attack range of 6. Extended Thermal Lance on the way that bumped that up to a 9. Look at this. Warp Prism is back. DT's in this time. DT's sneaking around, trying to find stuff, using the Zealots to distract this army. And where are the DT's going to go? Heading over here. Nothing much to kill here. Over here, though, a lot of juicy SCVs to one-shot. And can they get it? Finally, the Liberators are going to try to chase down this Warp Prism, but they're not fast enough to do so. DT going after a refinery, because why not? Look at these juicy SCV targets here. 5 kills, 6 kills, 7 kills, 8 kills there. A big army attack here on this base as well, forcing a liftoff on the 4th. The Stalkers and the Sentries trying to get it down to a burning position, but no backing out. Surprisingly, DT completely cleans out this entire mineral line with 13 kills, going after the missile turret as well. Why not? And Richardfeder does not actually care to this point. Oh, coming up here, a little bit ahead of the group. There are the Liberators. They are now dead. No defender mode circles available now. Not looking good at all for our Terran army. Kind of an awkward angle to kind of come up through this choke, and that's it. A GG from Richardfeder. Apocalypse is victorious, and Richardfeder has left the game. So there we go today for our PVT. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Again, I just really think it came down to the fact that Richardfeder couldn't make it past the halfway point of the map with his army. I mean, he tried to come up here, but again, every single time Apocalypse army was ready for him, Apocalypse dropped units back here 5 or 6 or 7 times, it felt like. Just completely disrupting the economy, taking down those SCVs. At the end, Richardfeder had 4 workers left. Resources lost, Tab. 20,000 minerals, 3,400 gas lost, as well as 92 SCVs. For Richardfeder, Apocalypse lost 10,000 minerals, 3,900 gas, so more gas. That's probably going to be Dark Templars and Adepts and Immortals and things that died, and only 14 probes throughout the entire game. So fantastic play, just kept the pressure up, really fantastic all the way through the whole 17 minutes of this map. Congratulations to Apocalypse, or the Affluent at this, as you may know him better. But that's it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.